make the most out of your leadership retreat? Do you take those on an annual or quarterly basis? Hi, my name is Shelley Smith. I'm the proud owner of Premier Rapport, where everything I do is an obsession around workplace culture. Today, I'm answering some questions that I have because usually at the beginning of the year and at the end of the year, I get a lot of phone calls around booking their annual retreats for the leadership team inside an organization. Depending on the size of the organization, sometimes it's at multiple locations with multiple entities within their executive staff, and sometimes it includes their board of directors. It always is around something centered around we need to improve our communication. We need to improve, how we work together. What sort of things do you do? And I always come back and respond with a better understanding first of what's going on inside the organization that you're trying to really lift out of a retreat. And why are you using the word retreat? What is it that you're looking for? Is it to set your annual strategic plans? Is it to recap what you've done and get started on the next? Are you doing it on a quarterly basis? Have you done this in the past? What have you liked? What have you not liked? All of those type of questions. But inside of every retreat, there ends up being components about improving the communication as a whole. And for me, I start with to better improve somebody's communication within a team, we need to first understand what the team dynamics are from a fundamental foundation around trust, how they do conflict inside of it, the accountability amongst them, the results inside of that as well. And what are your intentions? How do you measure it? What are your processes, accountability, collaboration, and then finally the tactics and the timelines to get there? And through the questioning of that and sort of listening and analyzing, we do end up with things around behavioral needs, wants, and desires. And again, for those of you who know me, or maybe this is the first time you're hearing, I love the predictive index. That assessment tool provides not only the job characteristics, behavioral assessment, as well as the cognitive assessment in a variety of other reports around inspiring hiring and soon to come in the engagement piece. But the reason why I love it, it's the best leadership development program tool that I've ever used, because it gets at the motivational needs, the hardwiring. So the better you understand not only yourself first, you are able to put yourself on the shelf. So when we do retreats, I always incorporate, if they're not already using an assessment tool, obviously I include the predictive index piece. When the retreat's agenda is laid out, it is around the team building and the understanding of motivational needs, but it's also a focus around the different components of the team of who is residing inside the innovation and the agility sector, who is residing inside of the teamwork and the client experience quadrant, who's residing in sort of that process and that results. Because each of those areas, as well as their communication, taking action, decision making, really help me outline what an effective retreat looks like, feels like, sounds like. And then, and only then, can we get at the improvement of what the communication cadence needs to be. And the biggest thing out of retreats when you're planning is to be realistic of what you can accomplish in a retreat. Typically, the retreat is a half a day, a full day, maybe a day and a half. Rarely is it more than that. If you're able to give 3 to 5 days in a retreat, then you can really walk away some additional substantial pieces. Or if you do retreats on a quarterly basis, then you can walk away with a little bit more. But if not, you need to walk in understanding that the surface is going to be scratched. You're going to start to begin and form the conversations and the relationships in a different way. And then from there, you can have some additional action planning of 1, 2, or 3 things that you can do to begin to follow up with. Because if not, it's literally that start, stop, or that flavor of the month, that rah piece. So when you go into a retreat, be very clear on what are the intentions, how are we going to measure it was an effective piece, how and who are we going to use on the collaborative moment, what are we going to do from an accountability piece before, during, and after, and then finally, if we're coming out with action plans, what are those high-level tactics that we're going to do that align with our strategy so we can make an effective execution and outcome that we're looking for? And all those things are obviously people elements. So as you plan your retreat the next time, feel free to call me. I can give you some tips. I can give you references on people that I've done retreats for. But an effective retreat definitely begins with an understanding of what your intentions are and the outcome inside of the retreat and the people that are all involved. So until then, happy retreat planning, or calling your favorite consultant, Shelly Smith and my entire team at Premier Rapport, for more information. Until then, be well and understand that culture matters.